report from Ian Begley reveals that Marcus Morris could be coming back to the New York Knicks in a wild signing after Landry Shamet went down with an injury, and we have to talk about it. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, I don't usually do this, but make sure to subscribe to the channel. Only 24% of people watching this are subscribed. Let's get those numbers up. It really does help me out way more than you could imagine. And I understand that people say this all the time on YouTube. I did not realize how much it genuinely does until I started doing this myself. But you guys are also not here for that, so let's jump right into it, guys. Marcus Morris was signed by the Knicks this offseason and then got waived as he was on an Exhibit 10 deal, so there was basically no reason that it wouldn't have hurt the Knicks to waive him, and Marcus Morris then would get an automatic offer from the Westchester Knicks. Obviously, Marcus Morris is not trying to play on the Westchester Knicks, and the Knicks invited him to training camp, to which Morris said no, because he didn't want to be trying out for a spot that he thought he basically had no shot getting. He found it pointless as a longtime NBA veteran. He just did not see the point in it, which is understandable in my opinion, honestly. But after Landry Shamet went down with an injury, the New York Knicks seem to have reported interest in bringing Morris onto the actual roster and into the rotation now. Now, as mentioned by Ian Begley, if Landry Shamet is out long-term, New York would likely look to sign another veteran player for that 14th spot. Before Landry Shamet's injury, there was some internal support for adding Marcus Morris Sr. Now, New York signed Morris to an Exhibit 10 contract prior to training camp. They had waived him to execute the Towns trade, and then Marcus Morris then declined a training camp invite from the New York Knicks. Even after he declined the training camp offer, some with the club viewed Marcus Morris as a strong depth piece and a potential in-season addition, especially if a trade is made where the Knicks give out more money than they'd take in. And if Shamet is out for an extended period of time, the New York Knicks could also look to choose someone like TJ Warren or Chuma Okeke to stay under the second apron over Marcus Morris. But that is probably not going to happen over Morris, if you ask me personally. Now, look, the problem is Landry Shamet went down with an injury, and the injury looked pretty serious, so turn away for a second, because as you can see, this was very, very similar to what happened to Julius Randle. I mean, the shoulder bone is popping out the same way. Look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Landry Shamet dislocated his shoulder. That is what happened. He could be out a few weeks. He could be out half the year. We know the drill with Julius Randle. We understand what this is. And the Knicks don't want to bring someone on who's added for depth and someone who's going to be at the end of the rotation. But in the rotation, if he's just going to be injured the whole time, and if you waive him, it's only for $15,000 that is going onto your salary. So you will not be affected, and you could still sign someone who is on a deal, a veteran minimum deal, where you basically won't go over that second apron still, I should say. I just kind of messed my words up there. And Fred Katz even added on this and kind of broke it down, mentioning that Shamet was likely to make the Knicks regular season roster and was getting regular time with them. He's also on an Exhibit 9 contract, which means he only has around $15,000 of injury protection, which is a really unfortunate situation for him, and the Knicks could choose to hold on to Shamet regardless on a non-guaranteed contract. And if healthy, he's pushing for a rotation spot. That contract does not fully guarantee until January, meaning the Knicks could keep him on, and they wouldn't exactly have to deal with the second apron stuff until January. Then they absolutely would, and then things become a little more hairier, especially if the Knicks sign Marcus Morris and Landry Shamet, because one of them's getting cut unless the Knicks were to make a trade. For instance, trading away Precious Achiuwa, who's on a $6 million contract, for someone who makes around $3 or $2 million, to where they could bring both Shamet and Morris on. Honestly, a situation that I myself don't mind, even though I will say Precious Achiuwa is elite. If you guys watch the streams, you know that Precious is the next Giannis and better than Bam. But look, guys, in all seriousness, when looking at the New York Knicks, yeah, they're going to have to bring someone else in if Shamet's not going to be healthy for a while. There's no point in keeping Landry Shamet around if he's going to be injured. You need someone for the rotation, and Marcus Morris, he can absolutely help out in the rotation. I mean, Shamet is a great player who would have been very effective at the end of the bench as a shooter for the Knicks, but that might not be realistic anymore. I mean, he put up 7.1 points per game last year with 1 rebound and 1 assist. Though he only shot 34% from the field, he shot 42% on corner threes, where most of his work would be getting done. He's an excellent corner three shooter, excellent catch-and-shoot shooter. Almost all of his threes are assisted. They're mostly catch-and-shoot shots. And over half his shots are threes, something that would probably go up with the Knicks. And also, it's important to mention, he was in a much weirder role with the Wizards because the Wizards are a weird team who are not very good. With the Knicks, he'd be a pure catch-and-shoot player. would be able to give some help now that Dante DiVincenzo's on the Timberwolves. So it would have been helpful, but look, it didn't work out. Now, Marcus Morris last season shot 40% from 3 and 43% on corner 3, so he fits very well. Also adds some more size as he's 6'8", big guy who could really guard backup bigs, power forwards, small forwards. He's not some elite defender, but he's strong enough to really hang with guys who are bigger than him. He can play bigger than his size. He could also guard power forwards just fine, especially backup ones, who are really just all spot-up shooters, kind of like Marcus at this point of his career. And he put up 6 points per game last year with 3 rebounds. Very solid role player stats. And I'd love Marcus Morris to be back on this team. Look, I did 2 whole videos on Marcus Morris when the Knicks signed him. I love his dog mentality. I think it would fit the Knicks perfectly. I love the grit. I love the energy. He's from the Northeast. He's from Philly, but he's from the Northeast. He's got that grit, that mentality that you got to have to play here. He's played in New York and was very successful, putting up 19.5 points per game in his time on the New York Knicks. Now, after he got traded to the Clippers, his scoring went off a cliff because, well, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were there. But still, the point stands. Marcus Morris is someone who has been appreciated by every team he's been on and has been a very valued member of basically every team that's had him. I think he would fit really well. Now, I also like Landry Shamet a lot, too. I'm saying, though, if Shamet's out and isn't going to play, Marcus Morris is your guy, especially when, as Begley highlighted the 2 other guys potentially who the Knicks could go for. TJ Warren shot 15% from 3 last season. I understand they only played 11 games and only shot a couple threes, but I don't care. 15% is 15%. The man shot 44% from the field. That's not good either, with 4 points and 2 rebounds per game. He's also incredibly injury prone, so I don't really love the idea of bringing him on. And Chuma is injury prone, shot 35 and 28%. He did shoot 37.5% in the corner, which is okay. But, and yeah, he's a good defender, which I should add. But, like, still, neither of these guys are nearly as good as Marcus Morris or Landry Shamet. I don't think going with either of these guys makes any sense over Morris or Shamet. Bring back Marcus Morris. Bring back Landry Shamet. Both of those, they just make more sense to have on your team, especially at this point of where the New York Knicks are at. And I like the idea of Marcus Morris being a New York Knick once again. I mean, when he was here in 2019, he was good. He gave some grit to that team. He hit Justin Anderson in the head with a basketball because he was just annoying him and for no other reason. Marcus Morris does not play around. He's a guy who you don't want to mess with, and he would ride for his teammates like no one else. The Knicks don't have Julius Randle anymore, who was their bully, their bulldog, that type of guy who you don't mess with because he'll get right up in your face. He's not afraid of the smoke. Marcus Morris fits that role perfectly. I think Marcus Morris is an absolute win of a sign by the New York Knicks, and they should go out, contact Morris, and say, hey, we not only want to give you a guaranteed roster spot, something, and I'll be honest, I would be fine with Morris or Shamet. I don't really have a preference between the 2 of them. Part of me prefers Morris because he's bigger. And he also did shoot better from 3. So I kind of like the idea of Marcus Morris better either way, to be honest. But really, when looking at the New York Knicks, what they need right now, and Landry Shamet potentially missing the next 6 months of his NBA career, you go out there and you sign Marcus Morris. That is the right move by the Knicks. It would be a grand slam of a move late in the, not even in the offseason, early in the NBA season, you go out there and you bring Marcus Morris to this Knicks team. That'd be a massive win. And, I mean, look, the guy's a phenomenal player still. He puts up, well, phenomenal role player, I should say. He's not some superstar, but he's a great catch-and-shoot shooter. You can't leave the man open. He's a dog. I've said it all already. The man just knows where to be. He's a smart NBA player. His teammates love him. He was loved on Philly this season. He was loved by Cavs fans. Both fan bases, well, Philly fans wanted to bring him back to the team. The Cavs fans were sad that he left. The guy is liked for a reason. He puts up good shots. He's efficient. He gives everything a basketball team could need. And I think Marcus Morris is the absolute move for the New York Knicks, and they should go sign him today. I hope I'm making a video on Marcus Morris signing with the Knicks tomorrow or earlier or later today, depending on what time and what day this video drops. It's either late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. But guys, if that happens, you know I'm going to be making a video on it. So make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.